Y S Prabhakar, CEO of Transasia Biomedicals, based in Mumbai. Yes, Indian IVD industry, if you look at, is about $1.5 billion. That's close to about 8,000 crores in size. And the compounded annual growth rates over the last few years, if you look back, is trending around 16 to 18% based on the estimations of the industry. Now, if you compare this against the whole global market is at about 60 billion plus. So we are still very tiny, but nevertheless, India happens to be the fourth largest market in the world. So that is very interesting. The second interesting part is that the growth rate has been one of the highest anywhere in the world, and this has been keeping pace with the kind of a growth in the general healthcare industry in India, or rather outpace that. That way this industry is helping our masses quite a bit, I guess. The industry can actually grow even faster because I can relate one small statistic for you. In spite of whatever advances we have made in the last several years, if I tell you that less than 30% of the Indian population has ever got their blood test done, I'm sure you will all be surprised. So for me, the runway is the balance 70%. That is the kind of a trending that we are really looking at. The impact is humongous, like in any other field. The pace at which the technology has been progressing is really unfathomable for an average citizen. But for people like us in this side of the industry, again, the latest things like the chemiluminescence, the molecular diagnostics, those kind of things which are actually in vogue in the Western world for the last few years, how to bring them faster, make them accessible to our people here, both the pathologists as well as the patients. That is where I think the future lies. And the speed at which again the information technology is progressing here, we have to really leverage that as well. The whole digitalization, how the clinical reports can be made available to the patients faster but more accurately, and in the kind of a fashion they are able to integrate the varieties of tests and the varieties of instruments through which the tests are done, that holistic view in a one single report easily read, that is where I think we need to make the things possible in the near future. Yes, I think most of it has been more favorable to the general public in India, especially the NHM and a few other measures which the current government has taken, including the Make in India. Now, the NHM policies and in general the government's interest to plow in more expenditure for healthcare, that augurs well. Just to cite one specific example, there are about 20 states out of our 29 which have gone in for PPP model, which actually can counter the earlier problem I was citing, that a very few of our people have actually undertaken their blood tests ever. So imagine the latent diseases, imagine the latent problems which they are there. So if the private-public partnership model can be undertaken by more and more states, and diagnostic services are made available at very cheaper cost or negligible cost to these larger populations, I think they will be able to safeguard themselves sooner and better. Just like in any other medical device industry in India, we are also dependent on import content to the extent of over 2/3. This is huge. There is not only a revenue drain on the Indian budgets, but also it's an opportunity, I guess, wherein we can make these technologies, if we can manufacture them within India, perhaps we can make them more affordable to our masses. This is where companies like ours are making some efforts over the last 20-25 years. The fillip from the Modi government on Making in India is going to help us even more. The other challenges are, of course, education and awareness, which is lacking in our country, and how we can make these things more affordable, that remains one of the topmost challenges, and the accessibility to the tier 3, tier 4 and the smaller rural areas, wherein we can reach out to those people and get them to get tested. Yes, we are very proud to be associated in this arena, the diagnostic arena, for the last 37 years. Of that, more than 25 years being the pioneer in manufacturing within India and getting our innovative and reliable products as much as affordable also to these people. Now, our biggest differentiator has been the service first. How we can make our products and the services available to the people even in the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, not just in terms of pure sales, but more in terms of application support and the post-sales service support. This is where we have invested heavily over the last several years by more than 300 people who can reach out the nearest machine available within a couple of hours of whenever the problem arising there. The third largest differentiator is that we have been the pioneers in this industry and also the leaders here. So we are also taking the responsibility ourselves to spread this awareness both in the pathology community as well as in the laboratories and the DMLTs, so that the accurate and reliable tests are happening and the results are available faster and in the right form to the patients. Yes, we have some grand plans to grow even faster than what we have grown in the last 4 or 5 years, and to that end we have expanded our capacities of manufacturing within India. Secondly, we are also acquiring companies world over, including about 11 of them which have happened over the last 9 years, which is giving us more access to newer technology which can be manufactured both within India and outside India, so that we are able to bring those reliable and innovative technologies to Indian masses faster.